Welcome back, my wonderful middle schoolers. Today we're going to work on tessellations. And tessellation is a regular pattern made up of flat shapes. The word tessellation is derived from a Greek word tesseres, meaning four, and refers to the four sides of a square. So we're going to start with a square. Today, the materials you're going to need, a Post-it note or a small square piece of paper, tape, scissors, pencil, Sharpie marker for now. And then you can use any kind of coloring utensils you'd like, markers, colored pencils, or crayons. So you want to start with your square piece of paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line, wavy, maybe some points, just like this, on one side of my paper. Then I'm going to cut that out. Try to make the cut go from one edge of your paper to the other, like the corners to the edge. So here's my shape. What I'm going to do now is move that over to this side of my square. Grab a little piece of tape and tape it down. So what I cut from this side, I add to this side. Doesn't matter what kind of tape you use. Regular Scotch tape probably works the best. I'm just going to kind of add a little more so it doesn't move on me. This is why I say go to the edge, because that way I can kind of bend it along the back and trim this little piece off. All right, so then I'm going to make one more cut, and I'm going to cut from this side of my square. That. And then I'm going to move it, after I've cut it, I'm going to move it directly across the other side of my paper. Okay, so this is where I made it tricky on myself. I should have gone right to the edge, because now I've got to figure out how to line this up. So I might take a piece of paper so that line it up. Try and get it the best that I can, just like that. I always seem to complicate things. All right, so I'm going to trace this shape in the middle of my paper with a pencil. So I'm using the sticky side of my Post-it note down so it helps keep it in place. Now, the important thing about a tessellation is that it fits together like a puzzle or like tile. As a matter of fact, the Greeks used tessellations to create their tiles. Tessellations can be done with regular polygon shapes that have equal sides and equal interior angles. And that's usually how you see them in tile. But today, we're going to create an MC Escher style tessellation. So here's my shape. What I'm going to do, your pieces should link up perfectly so that you should be able to trace them, and they fit together like a puzzle piece. Okay, so after you trace, the objective is to turn your tessellation into an object. So this is Miss Taft's wonderful example. She turned hers into a turtle. Okay, so after she traced it, she was able to make the design and continue that pattern throughout her paper. So my example, I had to do a few, and I think Miss Taft said she did too. It's really hard once you made one to figure out what you can turn it into. So one idea that would really help is on the back of your paper is to trace it, your tile, your tessellation tile, and decide what you're going to turn it into before you start drawing on the tiled part. So here I've traced it, but this is the back, so I decided it kind of looks like a star, so here we go. So I turned my star shape into Patrick. So now what I'm going to do is take this design from the back and reproduce it on this side and turn all of my shapes into Patrick Star. Okay, now that I have the basic shape drawn and colored in, this is where I can go back in with a little darker color and maybe add some areas where the shapes might overlap and give a little shadow. So first I'm going to use a little darker pink. This is a red violet. So right here, let's start right here. So it looks like this Patrick's arm is behind that one. And then this leg is behind both of these. And then just kind of do that all the way through the picture. Maybe do a little bit of shadow underneath the arm like this. Okay. Okay, middle school, so have fun. I cannot wait to see what you come up with, and just be patient because it may take you making a couple of these before you figure out what it can look like and what you can morph it into. All right, and don't forget to post on Flipgrid, Google Classroom, email, get it to me somehow, and I cannot wait to see what you come up with.